All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here, actually talking about real, very, is this thing on? Yeah, very real music in real time for a few real people who are left, just like you and just like me. So everybody knows about Lindsey Buckingham, right? You say the name Lindsey, that's kind of a familiar name in the world of music. People know who Lindsey Buckingham is. Well, there's actually another Lindsey. Okay, so this is going to be a big bait and switch. This is going to be like, okay, I'm going to grab this thing right here. That's not it. It's something else. I get very frustrated when there's someone out there who's got like boatloads, like bleep loads of talent. Okay, and they're ignored. Well, they're not ignored, but they're playing like little small clubs and they're playing this real music. They're not auto-tuned. They're not processed. They don't have this big support team. They go out there and they perform really authentic music. Now, this may not be everyone's cup of Java per se, but has anyone heard of Lindsey Webster? Anyone out there? Bueller? Billboard, I think, had her as Artist of the Year 2 years in a row back in the mid-teens of the 2000s. Lindsey Webster is incredible. Silky smooth voice, easy on the eyes. Yeah, I'm going to put it out there for you guys who don't want your ears to bleed. Some of us are getting a little older, right? So we can't listen to Black Sabbath anymore, or we can, but we just take it in smaller dosages. You know, that's Lindsey Webster, Black Sabbath. Well, you know, I can't hear anything, man. I'm just going to go with Lindsey Webster. Or because you can't hear anything, you might have to listen to Black Sabbath because it's the only thing you can hear. So Lindsey Webster, all right, let me give you a little, I don't know, a little bio information on Lindsey Webster. If Carole King and Sade had a kid, she would be Lindsey Webster. Agreed. Although those two biological women aren't supposed to be giving birth to a kid, but you know, we're living in 2021. So the analogy works on a couple of levels because, hey, it could potentially happen. BBC Radio says blows everything out of the water. Pop Matters says classy, consistent, and exceptional. Lindsey Webster is soulful, authentic, and belongs on the short list of new talents keeping the tradition alive and taking it to the next level. Now, what kind of music is this, Dave? Well, I'm glad you asked me. This is contemporary smooth jazz. There's no question about it. There are some deviations from that particular genre because I think Lindsey, if you listen to her albums, you're going to hear moments where things kind of rock it up a little bit or the things go off on a different kind of tangent. But again, you may call this, you know, hey, we're having cocktails. We're having cocktails with some very, very important people this evening. And we've decided that Lindsey Webster is our musical choice for the evening. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is the funny thing about music. You know, yesterday I'm talking about Travis Tritt. The day before I'm talking about, you know, some rock band you never heard of. Today I'm talking about Lindsey Webster, damn it. And she's good. She's really, really good. How good? Like I said, 2 years in a row, she was put into her own category. That's how good she was as being the best in that particular category. It's the Lindsey Webster category. Now, I know a lot of people like Lindsey Buckingham, right? From Fleetwood Mac. Here's the deal. If you like Lindsey Buckingham, you might want to go listen to Lindsey Webster. if you grew up listening to, I don't know, Swing Out Sister and Sade, because that analogy was in there, Anita Baker, maybe. There's some other things that are sort of in the same wheelhouse, ballpark, zip code. But I think Lindsey is kind of a thing unto herself. She's really original. She's beautiful. She can sing the phone book. She's organic. All of the things I like. Doesn't necessarily mean I listen to it all the time. I tend to do binge watching on Netflix, right? Well, I don't have Netflix anymore. But when I did, I would binge watch a particular thing. Now, I do the same thing when it comes to music. Some days it's, hey, melodic rock from Sweden, right? Stuff nobody's listening to. Lately, I've been on this AM radio kick where I'll listen to music from the 1960s because I think it has disappeared for the most part. So it's kind of cool hearing all those old songs and those lyrics, which some would consider cheesy. I consider them to be kind of innocent. Now, when it comes to the whole smooth jazz thing, yeah, my collection, and I'm not afraid to say this, I'm, comfortable enough in my own manhood to admit that I have quite a few instrumental albums or albums that would qualify for that particular genre. I like it. At times, it's very calming, very soothing, very reassuring. And I think if you're one of those people who need a little bit of that in your life, you might want to check out this wonderful artist who many have never heard of before. And this is the whole radio blackout thing. Well, Dave, she really doesn't fit a format. Really? Because Sade did, Anita Baker did. All of that R&B from the 80s was drenched in kind of this other, type of music where it wasn't necessarily in one category. If you want to go really far back, you can look at like George Benson or Spyro Gyra or any of those artists that had little crossover moments. Some of those artists had bigger crossover moments. But obviously, we were cool enough to put an artist like Sade on the radio, right? Swing Out Sister, they're okay. Was it Basha? Basha was another one of those artists where people would go, hey, she's too classy for the radio. What's she doing? Well, the 80s actually really was a pretty diverse time where you could have, Motley Crue and Sade. You could have it on the same chart. It was weird, but that's the way things worked back in those days. Today, not so much. And an artist like Lindsey Webster has to kind of make her own way, hit the club circuit, try to drum up her own publicity, hope that people, hear about her through word of mouth. I may have actually done a video about her back in 2017 or 2018, because the first time I heard this, I was like, holy crap, Batman, who is this woman? And she happens to be, again, very easy on the eyes. Now, my wife might get on me for saying that twice in one video, but anyway, I'm trying to help Lindsey out here. Okay, I'm happily married and, everything like that. It's kind of over at this point. I'm too old for this stuff. So I'm just stating, the obvious. I'm being Captain Obvious. You really should check out Lindsey Webster. It's not Lindsey Buckingham. There are probably a few other Lindseys out there, and she's a woman and Lindsey is a man, and that name is kind of interchangeable. All right. I'm just, trying to make light of the fact that you might be confused over like Leslie Nielsen, remember Leslie Gore, see how that works? So yeah, anyway, that's all I got for this video. Please check out the music of Lindsey Webster. Check out her website. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something like Lindsey. Actually, it's lindsey-webster-music.com. lindsey-webster-music.com. So there you have it. I have done my due diligence here. alerting the masses to the fact that there are people out there they may not have heard of that are way more talented than the people that they're currently playing on the radio right now. That's it. Done. See ya.